exit polls have actually, in a very correct way, got the estimate and size of the Lok Sabha. Many exit polls were right in 2014.
Yes.
They got the Modi wave right, but many exit polls were wrong in 2004.
In terms of estimating how much could the Modi wave rake in?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Walter Anderson.
I want to build on that. I think that's important. Neither side is taking anything for granted. And so you see this flailing that we talked about yesterday, and you'll see more of it today as the results start coming in. Everyone wants to be sure that they are on as strong a foundation as possible. Hence this proposal, which sort of comes out of nowhere, and as we've all said, is probably not going to lead anywhere. But it's a way of trying to sort of keep your options open, and I think we're going to see more of that.
All right. Faisal Gote, I want to ask you, look at an alliance that is UPA plus. This is what would happen if eventually numbers were to turn out the way the Congress party is dreaming it to be at this point in time, hoping it to be at this point in time. That's what would happen. At the end of the day, if you do not have one clear, single largest party, a bunch of parties will have to come together to form the government.
Yeah, the Congress has been a master of hijacking democracy, of using small numbers, to make it
That's
look
a strong
big
statement
number.
to begin the morning with.
From the time of, Nehru, when Nehru, chose, when Gandhi chose, Nehru over Sardar Patel, from that time, the Congress has always hijacked democracy, unfortunately.
All right, Kartikeya.
No, let's take a big picture. And I would like the PCR to throw the graphics again on the screen to show as to how the exit poll functioned last time around. So it's the big finale of the biggest festival of Indian democracy, and we here on WION bring you the latest coverage. Now, if you look at these figures, it gives you the big picture of the exit polls. Most of the exit polls have given a thumping majority to Bharatiya Janata Party, 306, 287, 247, 336. The others have remained stable, but the Congress party has not gained substantially, and the word is incremental advantage to the Congress party.
Yes.
132, 128, 127, 82 seats.
That 82 is not incremental advantage.
Well, I would say
because
that
44 to 82 doesn't really carry the Congress past its crisis.
It goes on to show that in this survey, other political parties associated with Congress have not done well.
So
for example, I assume like DMK must have not done well in this poll. For the very reason that the Times Now survey, which says 132, because they have shown DMK to get more than 30 seats.
In Tamil Nadu. On that note, the numbers on the screens, ladies and gentlemen, these are the exit poll numbers and the poll of polls, the WION poll of polls. The mean overall says 299. I'm going to ask, begin the second round of questioning in terms of the number that we're all looking at over here. Everybody wants to ask journalists and television news channels, but what's the number on your mind? What's the number on your mind? I'm going to begin with Mr. Andrew Whiter on this side. What's the number on your mind?
Well, on the day that the exit polls came out, before they came out, I estimated that the BJP alone would win about 223 seats. And I'm comfortable with that. That would mean that the NDA would be just a little short, I think, of your poll of polls figure. Though I have to say, normally exit polls underestimate the margin of victory for the leading party or group. There's a winner's bump, which might suggest that the NDA will be nicely over 300. But I'm comfortable where I started.
Andrew Whiter is comfortable. I have one guffaw from Lord Begda Desai, and I have one smile from Professor Makan Pranj. Professor Makan Pranj.
Well, I predict about 265 for the BJP alone. And for the NDA, more than that.
Optimistic. Big number. 265 just for the BJP. Lord Meghdad Desai.
230 plus minus 10 for BJP.
Alone, not the NDA. Right. And Jasper.
I think the main thing about pre-results data, you've got to stick to your number.
As you can see, the tone of it all is very light, Jasper.
My number 2 days ago was
come out. So the thing is that the number on the mind is important here because we've been led to believe with a number in our minds because of what we've seen and heard in this rather exhaustive election season. We're talking about the biggest elections in the world, ladies and gentlemen. It took about 6 weeks spread across 2 months. 17th general elections of India has been a rather exhausting affair, and the number of exit polls too have gone up with every single election in the country. Now we have a whole host of exit polls, 7 to 8 of them, and we've put together the major of them so that you can get an idea of what the exit polls say, and that is the reason why we're doing a dipstick poll here with barely hours to go for the numbers to come out. So Jasper, wait, Walter already has a number on his mind. Walter.
Well, the number I gave a couple of days ago was 240, but having listened to all of this, I'm going to up my number to a safe 275.
For the BJP?
For the BJP.
Ooh.
That is the biggest number so far.
Yeah.
Jasper Reed.
Well, I can't go with bid 'em up Anderson. I'm going to stick to my number of 265. That was 2 days ago. I'm sticking to my
He's
number.
a cautious
Professor
businessman.
Correct.
Mr. Arunanand.
See, the average voting percentage this time has been, it's 3%, about 3% more than the last time. And you need about 4% for a wave.
Okay.
So, and if there is a slight shift of the vote towards BJP, especially in places like West Bengal where left has been marginalized, or in Delhi where a part of Congress and AAP vote has also shifted towards BJP. So it means that we are looking at a tsunami. So I won't be surprised if it's 300, if BJP is touching the 300 mark.
BJP touching the 300 mark.
The bottom line is, why do you say it's 300? Is it because of the larger consolidation of the Hindu votes, or is it because that the election campaign of Bharatiya Janata Party revolved around a prime minister? Where has that surge come from at a particular point of time when the economy is not doing well?
See, I think there are multiple factors. One is, of course, I've been saying this on sitting here on WION itself, that there is a Hindu consolidation wave which has been going on. And if you remember in 2015-16, whenever I've said that it is going to hit the peak in 2019. See, Modi got exactly right the way to run the campaign. It was rooted in the cultural ethos of India. Here is a Prime Minister who is sitting in Kedarnath and Badrinath on the last day of the polling. And there you have Congress President Rahul Gandhi terming it as a drama. So I think the opposition is still freezed in a time frame. Modi has changed the rules of the game. It's like, they are probably still playing badminton or cricket and Modi is playing rugby. So it's that he has changed the rules of the game.
So
these schemes have...
the new game is that the Hindu vote is the game that wins the elections in India.
I think, you are going to see a significant shift in the Indian politics this time, because the Yadavs are not going to vote dramatically for or overwhelmingly for what you call the Samajwadi Party. The Jatas are not going to vote for BSP. He has broken that caste cauldron. Because of the schemes reaching up to the last man. The beneficiaries of the schemes have probably come out in large numbers, and this 3% voting percentage, this increase, it has largely come from the rural areas. So you are going to see a paradigm shift that how the rules of the game have changed.
Dr. Anderson, I have a question for you. There are paradoxes. The BJP, which was supposed to be a party of urban middle India, Banya party as people used to say, it has done exceedingly well with the middle class, but it has consistently also done well in the scheduled caste seats. Now, how are both possible within the framework of the Indian politics? Because both represents different priorities, both constituencies have different imagination of India, and they work differently.
I personally think that there's a kind of similarity of interests. And this is not a new kind of combination. High caste Hindus on the one hand, Dalits on the other hand. Paul Brass has written about this a lot, in which he talks about a Congress coalition that came into existence and survived for 40 years of Brahmins, Muslims, and Dalits. And gradually that began to fall apart. Now you have the BJP, which more or less monopolizes the upper caste vote, particularly in UP and Bihar. And I think there's a certain sympathy, with the Dalits, because they don't have direct economic clashes with each other. The clashes that the Dalits have is not with the BJP and their social base. It's with the Samajwadi and their social base, because they have the land. They're the peasant farmers of India that the Dalits want. That's where the clash is.
And before we go any further on this point, let's hear a reaction from Jayaprada, who recently switched to Bharatiya Janata Party.
बहुत ही एक्साइटमेंट है और हम जीत रहे हैं, 100% हम जीत रहे हैं और जनता की आवाज़ है ये, जनता की लड़ाई है ये धर्म युद्ध में हमारी ये जीत होगी और भगवान से प्रार्थना करती हूँ कि जो जनता की आवाज़ है, जनता की जो उम्मीद है कि फिर से मोदी जी प्रधानमंत्री बने.
So, Mr. Upadhyay, you wanted to come in, you wanted to make a point?
On the couple of days ago when we had this exit poll, Before the exit poll, I gave a figure of 278. I'm happy that more people who are at 220, 230 have come on board and agreeing with me today. So I will stick to that, 278. Plus, I think, NDA, another 50 seats. So what they had earlier in 2014, that is 336, they'll be closer to that. I think that's because of the fact that they're doing very well in West Bengal and Odisha, where they don't have anything at all at the moment. And then UP and Bihar, we all thought is going to sink because of the Mahagathbandhan. And they've taken on Mahagathbandhan and they seem to be doing very well. So these are, even Karnataka, see, they were down with these two parties getting together. They're today talking about Karnataka model, which is just collapsed. And they want to revive that at the national level. So from 17, BJP is going up to 20 or 21 in Karnataka. So that's how the numbers are adding up. And that's how I see that the BJP and NDA comfortably being in.
All right, and we, in the middle of all of it all, Karthikeya, there is a 300 number for the BJP as well. So 278, somebody is willing to give a little bit more number. Foswa, Gaute, we're discussing numbers over here because there is seat share and there is vote share. The exit polls also, sort of hedge the argument of seat share with vote share. From that perspective, do you think your estimates have gone up from where it was 6 weeks ago?
Well, I had said 250, but I think I got it wrong because all the exit polls are pointing towards a larger, for the BJP alone, 250. I think a good journalist should sometimes say, okay, I got it wrong, I think. But I said 250 because on the ground there is a lot of discontent about some of the, Mr. Modi's reforms.
Can I say one thing? We reflect the range of the polls here. From 220 to 300 plus. So I think we are in a safe margin. But I want to go back to what Mr. Anand said. If there is a tsunami, all these numbers will be revised upwards, for sure. I mean, the exit polls indicate that. What's going to happen, we'll figure out in a few hours, I think.
Why second guess it now?
Exactly.
But I want to just probe into this idea of Hindu consolidation, which we've heard mentioned today. Because if you just stand back, 8 out of 10 people in this country are Hindus. Only 3 out of 10 voters vote for the BJP, which means many more Hindus are voting for other parties than are voting for the BJP. So I see the BJP's success, continued success, to be based on party organisation and the development of really strong local leaders and levels of trust, very high levels of trust in Narendra Modi himself.
All right, there was talk of this word discontent on the ground. Lord Baker, this quickly.
There's one more thing. Everybody is obsessed about caste. Because we got data on caste, they think is. But what they have forgotten is the roti kapda makan, bijli sarak pani, which BJP has been investing a lot of money. They have done more for rural areas in the last 5 years than any other government. Right. People have forgotten that.
So are you saying that the caste is one ingredient in politics, but the Modi's politics in terms of his outreach schemes have overridden?
Yeah, you see, Modi's politics and BJP's politics and RSS politics has always wanted to overcome the caste divisions. That has been always their ambition. But the way you do it is by giving people what they need without caste.
Right.
It's not through reservation, but with general facility of electrification, housing, toilets. If you do all that, then it's an old model of welfare provision without reference to caste, and that's very important.
Mm-hmm. Right. I'm going to bring.
I think there's a bite coming of Tejasvi Surya, the controversial man.
All right,
from Karnataka.
Wow.
Right away.
Hey.
I'm 100% sure that we will be winning Bangalore South with a thumping margin, because I think Bangalore South is one of the constituencies in the country which has the highest Modi fever going on in the country. So I have no doubt about my victory.
Very confident, Tejasvi Surya. Karthikeya, R.K. Upadhyay wants to say something.
Since I come from Bangalore, I can say this is one man who is riding on the Modi wave. He was nobody, before he was, brought in as a candidate. It should have gone to Anand Kumar's wife, Tejaswini. She had been campaigning for 2 months, and even the state election committee had recommended her name. And out of the blue, this man's name was announce the day, final day of the nominations. And if he is winning, I mean, they're all winning on Modi's coattails.
Given what Anand Kumar is doing, thank God his wife is also not there.
Oh, wow.
Yes, Arun, you want to come in?
Point that Mr. Pandey was making, that is what makes BJP stand apart from, Congress. That